Have you ever wondered why only one of people accumulate almost all the wealth in the world? It's not just talent. It's not just effort. And it's definitely not just luck. There is a silent, almost invisible rule that rules the mind and actions of those who truly thrive and which is ignored by the majority. This rule has less to do with how much you work and more to how you think, how you donate and how you relate to money. In this video, you will realize that scarcity is not in the bank account, it is in consciousness. While many live for fear of missing, the true rich live to flow. They understood that abundance is not a destination, it is a state of mind. And the most shocking, this mindset can be accessed by anyone, including you. Just turn the key. Today you will find out how to get out of the survival cycle and enter the flow of true prosperity. Let's talk about a change of mental model, show the signs of those who live in scarcity, and reveal how those who truly prosper have become contribution channels, not just consumers. Ready to see what no one has told you so far? There is an invisible type of programming that acts as a virus in the subconscious. It is the mentality of scarcity. She makes you believe in phrases like luck in the game, bad luck in love, money does not bring happiness, or who was born poor will die poor. These beliefs are not harmless, they are mental locks that prevent the flow of abundance. And the worst, they disguise it from prudence, humility, even morality. Scarcity always operates in competition mode. It's that idea that for someone to win, another has to lose. This thought creates an invisible battlefield where everyone is sabotaged. Have you noticed how some people cheer for the other failing, as if it were going to increase your own chances? This is the reflection of a limited consciousness, the same that chokes relationships, destroys societies, and sabotages the performance of those who try to prosper. And make no mistake, scarcity has nothing to do with how much you earn, but how you think. There are people with a high salary who live in fear of missing, who helps no one, who cling to what has as if the world would end tomorrow. This kind of selfishness disguised as a precaution is not wisdom, it is prison. It is the opposite of generosity, gratitude and flow. Where scarcity reigns, life wages. Where she is overcome, it all starts to change. Abundance begins with a simple but powerful understanding: there is enough for everyone. Who has this conscience does not live comparing, nor does it operate from the fear of losing. Instead, it recognizes that prosperity is not a prize for the few, but an energy that flows through those who are willing to grow and contribute. Abundance is not an external event, it is an inner state that transforms everything that plays. People with abundant mindset become channels of what is good. They understand that the more expand financially, emotionally, spiritually, the more they can bless others. They do not accumulate for fear, they share by consciousness. They know that the more they pass, the more they receive. It's like a river that flows, it doesn't cling to the passing water, because you know it is more coming. This is where spirituality finds prosperity. And when the donation is made with joy, without guilt and without obligation, it activates an invisible force, as if the entire universe said, "She understood." Intentional generosity, one that comes from a grateful and confident heart, becomes one of the greatest drivers of wealth. Abundance flows where there is gratitude, where there is consciousness, and where there is movement. It is not about giving when left over, it is about understanding that donating is what is left. Growth without contribution is how to inflate a balloon and never release it. It seems big on the outside, but is stuck in the same place. Paul, in his teachings on self-desperation and purpose, showed that the true cycle of prosperity is only complete when what you learn, conquers, and lives becomes a contribution. Growing by growing generates only momentary joy. Contribute, on the other hand, generates meaning and lasting expansion. A lot of people believe they can only help after getting there, when they are rich, ready, or with time left. But the truth is the opposite, it is in contributing that you grow. It is when serving that you are high. This model of spiritual and emotional high performance shows that true prosperity is directly linked to the impact you generate. Whether teaching someone, helping financially, or offering their time, all this is abundance in action. The logic is simple: the more you develop, the more you have to offer. And the more you offer, the more you develop. It is a virtuous cycle. Really rich people understand that. Not that wealth that is displayed, but what it transforms. The contribution is what connects its history to the greater purpose. And when this happens, life begins to flow with lightness, gratitude, and results that go beyond money. This is the secret that one live and that you can live too. The Dead Sea and the Sea of Galilee receive water from the same river, but have opposite destinations. The first one only receives, never hurts, and so it is sterile, lifeless. The second, in turn, receives and returns and is full of life and movement. This is one of the most powerful metaphors to explain what happens to those who live in scarcity versus who lives in abundance. The difference is not in the source, but in the flow. Now think about big companies such as Ambev, Burger King, or Veg, often criticized, but they not only generate profit, they generate jobs, move the economy, pay taxes, and support families. If tomorrow these companies ceased to exist, social collapse would be inevitable. This is the opposite of the parasitic mindset. It is the model that contributes to scale. What sustains the world is not accumulation, it is circulation. And the mentality of scarcity appears even indoors. Adult children who live exploring their parents without seeking growth, live as parasites sucking, but without contributing. It is the same model of the Dead Sea. And do you know what is curious? Who most complains of missing, is often who gives less. And who grows up, is almost always the one who serves the most. Life responds to the flow. When you flow, you bloom. Stop for a moment and ask yourself with sincerity, have you been an abundance channel or an accumulator powered by the fear of missing? To be a channel is to allow prosperity to flow through you. It is knowing that what reaches you did not come to you, but for you to play other lives. And that does not require fortune, it requires awareness. The person who shares a little of what he has, with joy, is already living in the model of one. How many people do you help in a practical way every month? And we're not just talking about money but time, energy, support, presence. The scarcity mindset lives saying, when I have more, I help. The mentality of abundance replies, I help with what I already have. Donation is not a consequence of wealth, it is what prepares the soil to bloom. Real prosperity begins with the intention of contributing. And hey, race, a final provocation: do you want to get rich just for you, or to turn everything around you? Many leaders and entrepreneurs sabotage their own teams by paying as little as possible, distrusting everyone, crashing the growth of those next door. This is scarcity costumed with efficiency. Who values, who recognizes, and multiplies this is aligned with the flow of true prosperity. The choice, in the end, is yours. Imagine that prosperity is like the water of a river. It needs channels to run, flow, feed, transform. When you choose to be this channel, even with little, you enter the divine logic of abundance. Now, when you close, accumulate and keep by fear, it becomes an emotional dam that sooner or later bursts or dry. God does not seek accumulators, He seeks conscious distributors. To be a channel is to understand that wealth is not just for you, but through you. It is letting spirituality guide your gains and decisions. It's just stop thinking about how much will I win. And start to ask yourself, how can I be an answer in someone's life today? When you change this question, everything changes. Your energy changes. Your performance changes. Your world changes. And it is not about making large donations or public gestures. It is often a small attitude with great intention. Advice, a compliment, a silent pix, a purchase in a small business. Every act of generosity is a spiritual statement that you trust the flow, the return, on the plane. Who lives to flow, thrives. Who lives to retain, paralyzes. The channel is always more blessed than the accumulation. High performance is not running non-stop. It's knowing where to run. There are a lot of exhausted people trying to get there, but you don't even know where it is there. When you combine purpose, consciousness and performance, the game changes. You stop sabotaging yourself and begin to act clearly, faith and strategy. Spirituality is not against progress. It is the basis of true progress, the one who builds without destroying. Self-space is the name of the game. It is looking inside before accelerating outside. It is adjusting your mindset before changing your routine. Start when you wake up. How do you feel? What do you think? What do you say to yourself before you open your phone? This self-observation changes the tone of your day. Small daily adjustments create extraordinary results. It is not magic, it is applied consciousness. You do not need to choose between being spiritual and being prosperous. This division is a lie of scarcity. You can and should be a God's channel in the market, at work, entrepreneurship. And do you know what happens when you unite spirituality with strategy? You become unstoppable. It is like activating a turbo mode. Your faith guides your focus, and your focus manifests your vision. This is the new prosperity. True transformation begins when you decide to grow not only financially but also spiritually, emotionally, mentally. But don't stop there. Growing up is just half the way. The other half is to contribute. When you understand that your prosperity can be an instrument to change lives, everything gains a new meaning. The money is no longer ending and becomes a channel. Donate with purpose. It can be for a serious institution, a church, a social project, or even for someone close to a hand. What matters is that it comes from a place of conscience and gratitude, not obligation or vanity. Every time you donate with intention, you break with the scarcity and connect with the flow of abundance. And that, my friend, transforms not only your bank account, transforms your identity. In the end, prospering is a decision. And this decision begins with an internal, silent but deep change, the change of consciousness. Now that you know the secret rule of one, the question is, will you apply or ignore? Because the difference between those who live crashed and who lives in high performance is not what they know but what they do with what they know.